Hi guys, it's Collin. This week we're going to make the new Parker on the Porch Courthouse Steps Quilt Block. So you can see that here we have some kind of shorter sides here and then some longer sides here. So this is the 8x8 size, and this has 6 of each color, each 6 of each step, right? So the 5x5, the 6x6, and the 7x7 have one less. So some of them are going to be a little bit bigger here, but they're going to be there's going to be one less kind of outer row, if that makes sense. So this right here is our sample, and I have left the tearaway stabilizer on the back because I'm going to piece them together into a project that is not currently known to me, but I will think of something. So it will not be done in time for Memorial Day, but I will have it done in time for the 4th of July. This fabric will be featured on Fat Quarter Friday this week. So super cute. We'll make a little bit of a mix. I got some other fabrics picked out for my next one, but yeah, they're really cute. So we got the stars. This is a huge pack. We got flowers, this like bandana looking one. We got stripes, and we got, little fireworks and flowers and more stars, and lots of great choices. So if you need more fabric, this is a good one, perfect for the 4th of July. We are going to be making another one of these in the same size, 8x8. So I have stitched my placement lines, and we're using tearaway stabilizer here. So that is what I always do for a quilt block. Now, if you're going to make a hot pad, you need to cut away, right? But if you're going to piece it together, use tearaway. So the first step is going to be to stitch this square down right here. So I'm going to, so what I do, all right, so that comes with the cut chart, but I don't use the cut chart. I know I'm bad, is I just measure my pieces. So this is 2 by 2. All right. So I cut a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square because I don't like to trim my seam allowance in the hoop. So I didn't want a bunch of extra fabric. I'm going to have 2 inches and then a 1/2 inch on each side. So that leaves me with 2.5 by 2.5. I'm going to go ahead and place this here in, a reasonably centered position. It doesn't have to be perfect because we won't see the seam allowance. And I fussy cut it a little bit so we would see some of those cutest little elements in there. So I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to stitch this first step, and then we'll come back and we'll kind of talk about the process. We'll do a few together, and then we'll catch up at the end. Like most Parker on the Porch patterns, this one follows a logical order. So we do the circle first. And if you want, you can print the stitch map. I didn't print it because it's not available yet. I always make these early. Sometimes all the cut charts and the stitch maps and stuff aren't available yet. They will be when it's released. So go ahead and print it if it would help you. It just kind of shows what order we're going to stitch them in. Basically, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, kind of around like that, right? So we're going to start here with this one right here. So this is going to be one of our shorter pieces. And I had some kind of pre-cut. So I'm going to do my shorter pieces in, I was thinking I was going to do them in the fireworks. But I think the fireworks would actually be cuter on the side. So, okay, I'm chronically indecisive, right? So what I have right here is I have a big piece here. So I actually haven't cut my strips down yet. So I'm going to push this aside real quick. And I've cut mine to about 1.75 inches. And so just real quick. So before, we're going to be piecing, I need to save at least 1/4 inch along here, right? So I need more seam allowance here. This one I trimmed down to exactly 1/4 inch because that's how I like to piece. That's how I like to piece. So if you want to piece with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, then you need to remember to leave a 1/2 inch up here. All right. So with that in mind, these little first pieces can be a little bit smaller because we just don't need all that space. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my strips here. And this is just kind of the fabric samples that Jen gave me. Sometimes I would use like a jelly roll, or sometimes you would just cut with the fabric, right? So I'm going to cut mine so a little bit more than 1.5 inches, but not a full 1 3/4 inches. And that's a really nitpicky size. Your size might be different, and that's okay. This is the size that I want to cut for mine. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Now, normally I would have done this before we started recording, but it's late, and actually I just totally forgot. So you get the slightly longer version here. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to line up my fabric here with, I want 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides, and then I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to cut it about right here. Now you could cut each piece individually. That would also be fine. I'm not doing that. That's not how I piece these, but you totally could. So, and sometimes it's more efficient. If I were going to do 20 of these, I would do it that way. To do 1 or 2, there's no need. So this is a stitch and flip. So I'm going to line up my fabric. I'm going to make sure I have it right side the way I want it, right? So for me, I think I'll probably do my flowers mirroring each other, right? So then this will go this way, this one will go this way. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But the first one is this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it right sides together. I'm going to line it up with my seam allowance here. We're going to stitch and then we'll come back and I'll show you what to do. All right. So we have stitched it down. Now we're going to flip and stitch it again, right? So I'm going to go back to the machine. If you want to put a little piece of tape there, go ahead. I think I've told you guys before, but normally when I'm doing a thing like this, I just kind of bring all my pieces over so I would cut my strips to the width and then I would bring all my pieces over and I basically just stand by the machine and zip around. So this is a lot less efficient to do it this way to keep coming back and forth. I'm showing you for the video, but normally I don't tape. I just finger press and let it go. But for this video, we'll tape. We're going to go ahead and stitch right here. And then we'll come back and we'll do this one and we'll do a couple more and then we'll kind of catch up at the end because it's basically the same thing over and over and over. All right. So I stitched down my top one here and then I tacked this one down. So now we can just reuse that same piece of tape. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one down and I changed my mind. I decided not to do the mirror image. Not sure why. I just couldn't really fully commit, but it's no big deal. So I'm going to tape this down right here. We're going to go back to the machine. We're going to do this, and then we'll come back. All right. So we have our first 3 pieces stitched down, and they're looking good so far. The next step we're going to do is we are going to take our pieces here, and let's see, that one's not going to fit there. Okay. So I'm just using that because I had some kind of scraps from when I cut this out of my piece. So I'm just kind of making the best use of my scraps here to see how they're going to work. And so this one, I think I can cut in half and get both of those. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. So now normally I use longer pieces of fabric, so it's not quite as difficult. This is a little bit more challenging because I used smaller pieces of fabric and then cut my strips, but it'll be just fine. So for this one, we are going to put this right sides down. This one isn't particularly interesting, but I think it will be fine. We're going to put it right sides down, kind of like this. So this is a little bit too long. You can see that there's too much seam allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it right now because I already know that I don't need that much. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit. All right. And I'm going to put it here. We're going to stitch and flip and stitch. But first, I'm going to trim this just a little bit here because I don't want this dark blue to show through my light blue that I'm going to put on top of it. So I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just trimming the seam allowance there. And it doesn't have to be perfectly even and nice or anything. I don't want to see the dark blue. So I'm going to trim that down. Okay, and then I'm going to put my fabric back. We're going to put it right here. I'm going to line it up, just covering that blue. Stitch, flip, stitch. Then we'll do the same over here. All right, so I'm going to show you what happens when you make a little mistake. So here, so this piece is a little, see how I tugged it a little bit too hard and you can kind of see that line there? So I tugged it a little bit too hard. So what happened was this piece had a little slice right here. So I pushed it a little bit further back so it would have a larger seam allowance here so I could avoid the slice that was through it. And then I had to tug it a little bit harder to get it to reach here. So that would have been solved with a longer piece, or excuse me, a wider piece, or just that length piece that didn't have a slit in it. So I'm going to leave this because I know what happens after I put everything together and I quilt it and I wash it. It's going to be fine. I'm not going to notice it. It's never going to bother me. If that would bother you a little bit, then by all means, kind of take it out and do it again. There's no problem. You can just undo this one and then reline it up. So I'm not going to do that, but I do want to show you what happens when you tug it a little bit too hard. You might see some of that line right there. So our next step is to cover this up here. I'm going to use the blue flowers. I'm going to see if this piece will fit. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. All right, so I know that I want it to look like this, so I'm going to flip it like this. I am also going to trim this down a little bit. So I didn't trim that piece when I first put it on. And then I was going to not really talk about this the whole time, just so this video isn't super long. But I wanted to stop and show you what went wrong with mine and how you would fix that if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and we'll just line this up kind of right here again. Stitch, flip, stitch. Here is our completed Courthouse Steps Quilt Block. So I'm going to take it out of the hoop and then we will see what we have here. Okay, sorry, that was loud. My magnetic hoops are very loud. So here we go. It looks pretty good. So you can see where I tugged these a little bit too hard on one of them. And you know what? That happens. I'm not a perfect embroiderer and you're going to have mistakes. No big deal. If this is going to turn into a pillow or maybe like a table runner, I'm not really sure yet what this is going to be. I'm going to do at least 4 of them. I mostly make throw pillow covers. So that's probably what this will turn into. Or maybe I'll make a hot pad for the 4th of July. That would be cute. We're actually going to like a little cookout and I could bring it as a gift. So what I did is I took the stabilizer out of the edges or off the edges. I'm not sure. I took it out, ripped it out there. I'm going to leave it right here because I want this. The stabilizer is going to hold this stable while I'm piecing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm going to trim this down to 1/4 inches on all sides because I like to sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So if you like to sew with a different seam allowance, then trim it down to that. And I'm using a very dull rotary cutter blade as usual. So that's just, that's part of sewing with Collin, apparently, is using a dull rotary cutter. But no big deal. Here we go. If you don't have a rotary cutter, that's okay. Just trim it down with your scissors the best you can. And then this right here, so I'll show you what the 2 of them look like together so you can see a little bit different. My other one has a little bit higher contrast. This one has a little bit lower contrast between my 2 pieces. So this was my sample that I made here. I think I like it this way, right? And then this is the one that we made together. So my plan to piece them would probably be I'll make 2 of these and I'll make 2 of these and I'll kind of piece them this way. I'm kind of boring with my pillows the way I'm boring with my bags and my white thread. So that's probably what I would do. I also think this would be a really nice hot pad. So I could put these 2 together, right? Like this. Well, I'll take the stabilizer out if I'm going to do that. But I would do it like this. And then I'd put in my Insulbright and my batting. And then I would bind them. And that actually might be cute because then it's kind of like a 2-sided hot pad. You could display it however way you wanted. So a lot of things that you can do with these. You'll see lots of great examples that our testers made. So these are just mine. But thank you so much for sewing with me. And I can't wait to see what you make.